so much more.
Than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
Stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
The 2022 Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament is on the air. It's time for quarterfinals in Class 1A. It's number 1, Newell-Fonda, and the 8th seed North Mahaska Warhawks as we do battle from Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. Good afternoon, everyone. Along with Laura Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager. Glad to have you here as we flip the script to 1A. We've got 4 games to go in this class, and all quarterfinalists will be done, Laura. If you were just watching on the digital network and saw that buzzer beater, let's hope for a similar good game. Newell-Fonda, though, has been very dominant in their opening performances. In fact, their opening at the tournament, they just know where to play. I think they have their name written in ink somewhere in this place. Newell-Fonda is very familiar with this arena. Why is that?
It all starts at the lower levels with this group. I mean, they just, from the 5th grade, 6th grade level on up, maybe even before that, they just know the system. They all have seen the tradition and the success that this team has had, and all the young girls in that community want to be a part of it.
It also helps when you have an older sister that may have gone through the program. Yes, the names may be the same, but the first names are different. This year, there's still a Sievers and a Walker and a Jungers, but they're playing just like their older siblings have done, and they are trying to do what Newell-Fonda has done very well, and that's get to the title game.
They have been there, I think we talked 7 of the last 9 years. They've been in the title game and won most of those, been runner-up a couple of different times, but they just set their sights on being in that championship game at the beginning of year. That is a goal for them, and they have been very successful in completing that goal.
Which means it is an uphill climb for North Mahaska. They're back at the state tournament. They have won a state title, but it's been a while. Lee E. Moore has the squad back here. When you're the 1-8 seed, this is how North Mahaska did it. They went 23-1. They defeated Martinsdale St. Mary's to get to state. They averaged 60 points a game. They're only allowing 31 points a game. They harass the ball up front, too, with almost 16 steals. Layla Hargis will be who we talk about a lot today. Newell-Fonda, 23-1, sent Remsen St. Mary's home. But here's a big difference, 74 points per game. They're shooting 50% from the field. They can distribute the ball well, 20 assists per game. Macy Sievers, sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. It's just same script, some different names, as you had mentioned. And you look at the statistics coming into this game and getting to state. You know, both these teams defensive-minded. They're going to get after you, but the firepower on the Newell-Fonda team, they just know how to cut and move in the motion, and a lot of their defense triggers their offense.
All right, let's set the stage here after this quick timeout. We'll have our seeds for success and tell you what it's going to take for both of these teams to win today. You're watching the 2022 Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament from downtown Des Moines.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Inside. Outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside. Here for good.
It's Fairway Family Food.
Name one reason more people choose to shop at Fairway.
Lower prices.
Name something that Fairway is famous for.
The best meat in town.
Services!
Don't play games with your food. Shop Fairway for the best meat in town.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
Until next time, this is Fairway Family Food.
North Mahaska and Newell-Fonda just minutes away from tip, and let's take a look at our Kruger seeds for success. Laura Leonard, let's start with the visitors, North Mahaska. What are some of their keys and seeds?
Well, they definitely need to take care of the basketball against this relentless defense is what I'm going to call it, the in-your-face style of defense. You've got to take care of the basketball, and you've got to value every possession, make the most of it. When you get it into the front court, you've got to run your offense without any flaws, and then try to stay out of foul trouble. They're not a very deep team. You've got to be smart and manage how you're playing your aggressive defense. And then for Newell-Fonda, they're going to try to establish tempo. They want to get out and run and go as much as they can, have that defense turn into their offense. And then when they get into that half-court set, they want to create good looks with their ball movement. They don't want the ball to get stuck anywhere on the floor. They want to continue to move it around until they find a high percentage shot.
Those are your seeds for success, brought to you by Kruger Seeds. The next time that you are in need of corn or soybean seed, give your local Kruger Seeds dealer a call. Kruger Seeds, first-class seed, first-name service. Learn more at KrugerSeed.com. We'll step away for the final time before tip-off. We'll meet the two teams, the coaches, and some special fans. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament rolls on from Wells Fargo Arena in a moment.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Class 1A quarterfinal number 1 comes your way in a moment. MMCRU and IGHSAU next. Bishop Garrigan from Algona and Burlington Notre Dame will do battle at 5, and then at 6:45 it's a Tri-Rivers Conference Special, Springville and North Lynn. They'll play the winner of North Mahaska and Newell-Fonda. And you're like, geez, I wonder what the players are for these two teams. Well, we have you covered. Let's go across to the public address and meet the teams.
Fans, welcome to today's 2022 Girls State Basketball Quarterfinal matchup featuring the North Mahaska Warhawks and the Newell-Fonda Mustangs. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by North Mahaska High School and Newell-Fonda High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Leah Reese from Maquoketa Valley, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school's scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From North Mahaska High School, Michael Mitchell, Sr. And from Newell-Fonda High School, David Hugerich. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by participants, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to enjoy the game.
The definition of sportsmanship is the quality of showing fairness.
Respect and generosity towards the opposing team and officials.
The things you say and do are a direct reflection of your school and community.
Please stay positive and enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game. Enjoy the game.
First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the North Mahaska Warhawks. Number 20, Kayla Reedshaw. Number 22, Sydney Anderson. Number 24, Peyton Sanders. Number 32, Samantha Van Wielden. Number 34, Reagan Gruey. Number 40, Libby Hargis. Number 42, Jessica Castaneda. Number 44, Essica Whitehead. And number 54, Amelia Dom. The assistant coach for the Warhawks is Tara Greer. And now let's meet the non-starters and assistant coaches for the Newell-Fonda Mustangs. Number 4, Anna Belcock. Number 14, Mia Walker. Number 22, McKenna Sievers. Number 24, Nevaeh Lyman. Number 30, Emma Erickson. Number 34, Kiara Jungers. Number 40, Kinsey Henders. Number 42, Audrey Koski. Number 50, JC Vanderhoff. And number 52, April Meyer. And number 44, Greta Larson. The assistant coaches for the Mustangs, Courtney Darrow, Kevin Larson, and Chad Henders. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And now it's time to meet the starters for both teams. For the Warhawks, a 5'11" senior guard, number 10, Addie Schilling. For the Mustangs, a 5'6" junior guard, number 10, Mary Walker. For the Warhawks, a 5'11" freshman guard, number 12, Brecken Schilling. For the Mustangs, a 5'6" sophomore guard, number 12, Isabel Bartek. For the Warhawks, a 5'1" senior guard, number 14, Caitlin Van Donsler. For the Mustangs, a 5'7" senior guard, number 20, Macy Sievers. For the Warhawks, a 5'9" senior forward, number 30, Brianna Fogel. For the Mustangs, a 5'10" junior forward, number 32, Lainey Hografe. For the Warhawks, a 6' senior center, number 52, Layla Hargis. Who? For the Mustangs, number 34, Kiera Jungers. Where's it? And your head coach for North Mahaska is Ellie Moore. Head coach for the Mustangs, Dick Jungers. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the area in front of the scorer's table for the introduction of our officials for today's game, as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. They are Steve Allman, Cody Oakes, and Michael Calvig.
We'd once again like to thank Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, for their support. The Iowa Farm Bureau has an office located in each county across Iowa, and we'd like to thank the offices that are listed on your screen for their support of the two teams playing in our game today. Thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau, for supporting the IGHSAU and the IOWA Girl. Warhawks in black, Mustangs in white, ready to tip it off in Class 1A. Right on time at 1:30 on this Wednesday afternoon, March the 2nd, 2022. Warhawks get it, shoot the ball first, missed shot by Schilling. Goes out of bounds, it'll stay with North Mahaska. Set to inbound underneath the basket, Layla Hargis. She goes way over and to the scorer's table. A little bit of nerves right there.
A little bit of nerves, and there was just a little, almost little drive-by on the way on the baseline. Maybe they saw something that they wanted to get a quick hitter, and she just floats the ball over the top and out of bounds.
Macy Sievers dribbles it up, finds a white shirt right underneath. Missed shot from close was Bartek. Pickup is, they had 5 shots. Sievers, I mean, that was 4 attempts right there, and a quick back up again. 4th attempt, 5th attempt, 6th attempt, and finally North Mahaska clears it away. And then it's almost knocked away by Macy Sievers.
Well, I think it's number 1, nerves for both of these teams, actually. And number 2, I think just the idea of playing Newell-Fonda and the way they speed you up, just mentally you're in that mode already, right, even before you start the ball game.
Jungers on the back door, no good. Ball goes into the hands of Hargis, and she takes it for North Mahaska. Now, one thing, Laura, though, to remember, these are 4 new starters from last year. The Mustangs graduated 4 off of that team. The only one back is Macy Sievers, but Walker, Hografe, Jungers, and Bartek all had significant minutes both in the season and at the state tournament, so no strangers to the floor. Sievers collects the missed opportunity. The left-hander is good.
Well, you can see they had front position, back position defensively as they tried to lob it inside to Hargis, and they were able to get the steal and the run out.
Jungers up ahead to Mary Walker from the left side with the right hand is good. 4-0.
they just don't stop. As soon as the ball goes through the hoop, they're turning around and getting set defensively.
And then a drive to the basket by Fogel is dribbled off her left foot and out of bounds.
You know, I almost feel sometimes when you play a team like Newell-Fonda and you've had a couple of turnovers and haven't really gotten good looks, let's go ahead and call a quick timeout. Just settle your team down.
Or get a steal.
Or get a steal. That's just as good.
Fogel's hoping to get another chance to redeem herself from that previous possession, and they go inside to Hargis, and a good denial by Jungers.
You got to get a little more air under that, but right now they're sandwiching on the inside on Hargis, front and back, so there's not a whole lot of room to drop a pass in there.
Walker, now Sievers, dribbles in, quickly collapsed upon, and now the Mustangs will swing it over. They had Walker for a moment. Instead, they go to Jungers.
Jungers just working down in the low block, curling around into the middle, receiving a pass, and then the defense gets the steal. They've had several steals, have not been able to convert.
They get another steal. Sievers, Walker, fouled. Give credit on that play, Laura. Isabel Bartek started all of that mayhem.
Well, there's usually somebody. Doesn't matter who. But they just continually go after you, and they're in your hip pocket, and they're in your mind. You know they're there, and you just have to make sure that you're being more aggressive. And as we look now, we're going to have 4 substitutions, and a lot of times, and I think if I remember from last year talking to Coach Jungers, he said sometimes our second team and our third team, they're just as good as a lot of other teams' starters, and we just don't lose a lot when we substitute.
Mary Walker connects on both free throws, 8-0 Newell-Fonda. So McKenna Sievers, Mia Walker, Kinsey Hinders, and Nevaeh Lyman all come in. Part of the IMTINS.com substitution. Inside to Hargis, and it's knocked away by Newell-Fonda. In fact, the Mustangs don't even wear warm-ups for their bench players because there would be no reason to wear them. They're constantly rotating through.
Yeah, they'd be putting them on and off a million different times during the game.
Schilling pulls up free throw line, tries to get it to Hargis. Good denial by Henders. Hargis again harassed. 3, quick shot by Van Donselar, and it's no good. And the Warhawks get it back, and their first bucket of the game goes to Brecken Schilling. And then we have a whistle right here in front of us on the press. And it'll be on the one who made the bucket, Brecken Schilling.
Well, it just sometimes takes a little time to get beyond and I'm just going to say the aura or the awe of Newell-Fonda. And then you can settle in and start playing. They finally get a bucket. They scrapped after a second chance opportunity, converted on that, and now it's time to settle in.
Catching, shooting, but getting fouled. Let's see, I think that was Mia Walker. And quickly, Brecken Schilling picks up a second foul. No, actually fouled on that play was Lyman.
Well, that's one of the things we talked about. Got to stay out of foul trouble, and right now, with just about half the quarter gone, you've got one of your top players on the bench with 2 fouls.
So Fogel will sit down. Free throw good by Lyman. 10-2. More substitutions brought to you by IMT. Be worry-free with IMTINS.com. Warhawks looking to find somewhat of an open shot. Nice backdoor. Hargis.
That was really, really nice. And as Fogel made the move to the basket, there was just a crowd of white jerseys around her, able to slip the pass in between them over to Hargis.
And then Hargis plays great defense on the other end. She went up tall and strong and blocked that passing lane. Already 8 turnovers for North Mahaska. Pressure coming. Here comes Newell-Fonda. Henders goes off of Brianna Fogel, and he'll stay with Newell-Fonda.
You know, and that's where you just have to continually step to the ball, because they're going to be right on your shoulder coming in from behind. Great inbound play. Could not finish it off at the rim.
Kinsey tried and just not able to get it to fall. Newell-Fonda shooting 25% from the field. I don't think it'll stay that way for long, but Schilling's shot, and then she gets her own rebound, tips it, and then passes it to Hargis. 10-6, the lead is 4.
Now they've been able to get a couple of second chance points by just staying after the boards.
Jungers. Just when you think you have them stopped, they find a weak spot in behind the defense.
They're all such really good ball handlers that it just makes it easy to be able to dribble through the pressure defense, keeping the eyes up, and everybody knows where to cut. They're looking for that open spot, and they put themselves in that spot and make themselves available for the pass.
McKenna Sievers got the steal for a moment, and then she went on the line, and again another steal, and that's going to be a travel. Isabel Bartek just drugged that left foot and lost contact with the floor.
Well, at this pace and this tempo, sometimes you do get a little ahead of yourself in that running game, and there'll be a fair amount of turnovers.
12-6 Newell-Fonda. Here come the Warhawks in transition. Jumper by Fogel, no good. And North Mahaska hardly getting any second chances as the rebound advantage. There is none right now. It's 6-6. Shot by Addie Schilling, and she's fouled in the act of shooting. Laura, I think we talked about it yesterday. I know I talked about it. I just don't remember if it was with you or not. Was how do you practice and prep for a team like Newell-Fonda? Do you do maybe put 6 players on the floor against 5 to kind of get used to just that there is someone everywhere?
Yes, I mean, I think that's really the only way you can simulate the presence of this press. And I know at times when I played at Drake and we knew we were coming up against a pressing team, we would have 8 players that we would have to go against and try to get it into the front court. And then once you got into the front court and knowing your scout and all that, they'd have those 3 players drop off, and then you'd play 5-on-5. But they'd make you, and we'd have to go up against full court against 8 players, and it really makes you very aware of angles and who's where and when they're coming and when they might jump into a passing lane, and it does really help. But, short turnaround time for these teams to be able to come down here and have that prep time. It takes a lot of time to really understand what kind of an annoyance, and it is an annoyance, you have to go against with this defense on both sides. Both of these teams like to play that pressing defense, but North Mahaska just hasn't been able to knock down the shots to be able to set up their pressure.
Fogel is harassed, goes to Hargis. Turn around in the lane. No. Rebound is Hograve. Back behind. One more pass. Walker. And cleaning it up is Jungers.
And everybody runs the floor. Everybody runs the floor, and both of these teams run the floor. But the quicker hands, they're just so keen defensively.
Kiara Jungers took that basketball. Her eyes happened to be right. I could see it. She was looking down court as the shot is made by Hograve. She was looking for a teammate because she expected there to be a white jersey in front of her, and there wasn't. And that's the one time that we've seen where there wasn't somebody out ahead, because the offense just hadn't had a chance to get set. And so timeout on the floor for North Mahaska. So we talk about maybe playing against 6, 7, 8 players. They already most likely are playing against boys. That's been something that's been done to kind of mimic some strength and size of some teams. But let's go back to your comment about the quick turnaround. You can't, North Mahaska had plenty of time to prepare for this game. Whoever gets Newell-Fonda next or at any time on a short turnaround, or North Mahaska on a short turnaround, they can't quite simulate it. So how do they do it?
You just have to instill in the players that the first thing is valuing the basketball. Take care of that basketball. Don't stop moving until you have both hands on it. Step to every pass. Make sure that you're strong with the ball. And even on the dribble, even if you think you've cleared the first wave of defenders, somebody's going to be trailing you and coming in behind to try to poke it away. And so you have to be aware of where personnel is.
Oh, absolutely. Hinders just took that away, lays it up for 2. Fogel was flustered there on that play. She'd gotten a pass that was just a little too hard to handle. And then she runs past the dribble. Bendasalar, her shot is blocked by Macy Sievers.
Well, and it's the other thing of this, and I know this is for both sides because they do press, but when you get into that front court, you're still in that speed-up mode. You're still in that quick pace, and that's where mistakes are made as well.
Hargis kicks it back out to Grayway. Oh, stolen away. Sievers. Here comes Macy, left side, lays it up and good. 21-6 with 1:05 to go, and another steal almost by Macy Sievers. And again, Mia Walker, now Macy Sievers, drives in, kicks it left side, finds McKenna Sievers, who buries the 3.
Well, a lot of times they attack, get it in the paint. This time they attacked and then kicked it out for the outside jumper.
24-6. That's the first 3-point bucket for Newell-Fonda, and they're up by this margin. Interior pass is knocked away by Jungers, getting behind the defense. The Mustangs again, this time it's Kinsey Henders. Stolen away by Newell-Fonda. One more pass over the defense, not able to find a Warhawk, and then finally it does. 3-on-1, 8 seconds. Hargis lays it up with 5. Sievers lets fly at the horn, short. Newell-Fonda sprints out to a 26-8 advantage after the first quarter.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Des Moines. The S's are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Newell-Fonda 26, North Mahaska 8. We've played one quarter in this Class 1A quarterfinal from Wells Fargo Arena. in Des Moines, Iowa. This is the 2022 Girls State Basketball Tournament. 5-second call against Newell-Fonda to start the second quarter. So turning it over is going to be McKenna Sievers. And 16-6 was the big headline for me anyway, Laura, in that first quarter. What else stood out to you?
That's exactly what I was looking at, was the turnover margin right there, and 16-6, now 16-7. But that, when you can take those turnovers and score off of them, that's why you have the big difference after one quarter. But now a couple of turnovers here for Newell-Fonda, and North Mahaska needs to capitalize on these.
Hargis made them count once. Now let's see what the Warhawks do on this offensive effort. The runner off the high glass for Addie Schilling. So both turnovers have translated to points.
Those are the things that they need to have happen. If they can turn them over, get some stops, and create some good angles and good looks, they're going to climb back into this.
Mary Walker was expecting Isabel Bartek to be about 2 feet further away from the basket and didn't quite connect, but clearly that's a play they've run before. They know where you're going to be. And stepping in front of it, getting a hand, was Bartek. Stolen Sievers. McKenna puts it in.
On some of those passes over the top of the pressure defense, you got to put a little more air underneath them, and they're anticipating everything. They've looked at the film, they've looked at the scout, and they know exactly what they would do against this type of pressure defense. You got to also, if you're somebody that's coming to get the ball, you got to make some moves. You just can't allow the defense to dictate where you go on the floor.
I was talking to Coach Frost after the Denver win in 2A, and we were discussing watching film on Huddle. And he says, sometimes I swear these games are on 1.2 or 1.3 speed. He goes, I don't remember it being that fast. There's a huge shot from Addie Schilling. But right now, I think North Mahaska is living in real time just how fast this Newell-Fonda offense can be. But here's the thing, Laura. All of a sudden, it's back to a 13-point game. This can be within 10 if the Warhawks can get a 3 on this possession.
Yeah, and that's those are the things that they wanted to do. They survived that first quarter, and now able to get some looks and some turnovers and some stops, and they're making a little noise and a dent in this lead.
Grayway gets the rebound after the long shot by Schilling. Hargis drives in, waits for Fogel at the left elbow. Got an open player, that's Schilling. That's off the mark. Loose ball ripped away. Jungers off of her left hand and out of bounds. Another substitution coming back in is Kinsey Hinders. That's another IMT insurance. Be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Just a little bit different attitude and the way that they're handling the second quarter for North Mahaska. Don't seem to be as fast, as sped up, and just a little more confident in how they're handling the pressure.
Kinsey Hinders, now Walker. Mary Walker dribbles up towards the top. Now comes to Sievers. Drives in. Floater in the lane, good. Macy Sievers made it look easy.
Really easy in the dribble drive. Saw the defense sliding over, pulled up, knocked down that little floater.
Schilling loses it. So trying to save it was Isabel Bartek. Schilling drives, and she's fouled. Watching this game, Laura, from this vantage point, we almost need it to have on video game mode where you see the name above the player, or maybe like in NASCAR racing where they show the driver as they're moving. Everybody's moving around so fast, you have a hard time keeping up with everything.
Yeah, neither of these teams on offense or defense slow down at all. Everybody's moving, everybody's just in position. If they're covered up, they're moving to cut to a different angle. And I'll tell you now, North Mahaska had fallen back into a little bit of a zone the last few possessions. So far, Newell-Fonda is just out man-to-man, straight-up defense.
Newell-Fonda has doubled up the score, 30-15, 5:10 to go before half. Give and go. As Hargis doesn't fall for it, does the great defense on the block.
And that time it looked like they were back man-to-man and able to stay with them and get the block.
Van Dasselaar launches long. Weak side board for Kinsey Henders. Macy Sievers kicks it to the right side. 3 launched by her sister. Going up, no good. And Macy tries to turn the defender and laying it up and good as Brecken Schilling now with 4, the freshman. Back in behind, Sievers leaves it for a teammate. That's Lainey Hograve. Assist to McKenna Sievers.
And Hargis hustling down the floor, but they're just so quick. And they were down the floor before North Mahaska could get a defender down there in position.
Lainey Hograve going to be whistled for the foul, I think.
Both of these teams are, as we've talked about, getting up and down, going inline to inline. Longer floor than what they're used to playing on. And I'm just taking a look over there at Brecken Schilling. She's got the hands on the knees. She's breathing hard. And this is a pace that they're not used to.
Well, North Mahaska playing just a little bit east of here in the South Iowa Cedar League from Mahaska County. 32-19. 3 off the mark by Kiera Jungers. Loose ball again. Hargis to Fogel. Goes one-on-one. Winning that battle was Jungers on the defensive end. Mustangs don't have numbers, but they have a wide open shot from Mary Walker, and that's a 3.
If they don't have anything in the middle, they look to the perimeter because defense is now sucked back down, guarding the paint, and that leaves the top wide open.
Nice drive with the left and the 1 coming, Addie Schilling.
She has made some really great moves. She's a really good ball handler, is able to get around defenders. She's got a nice little floater. She just kind of floats to the basket, uses the glass very well.
And the N1 is good. Walker to a cutting Jungers. Approaching 3 minutes to go before half. Sievers in the corner, puts a move on, drives baseline. Goes up top, Jungers over the defense and scores. That was one of the more hard shots Jungers has made all night.
Yeah, she had a couple of defenders on her, not really in great position to make that shot, but was able to get it down.
4 different Mustangs harassed that trip up the floor, and they all went for broke on diving for the ball.
I think they feel like if they don't get it in the initial line of defense, they've got backup behind them so they can gamble.
Oh, Hargis. Good defense there. She reached up.
Yeah, she did a good job with the anticipation. Timed that jump just right. Got it with her fingertips and pulled it back in.
Hargis for 3. Good! Layla Hargis now with 11. Back within 12.
Makes the play defensively on one end, hustles down, and makes the play on the offense.
And another rebound by Hargis. She hears you talking about her, Laura.
Yeah, there you go. I'm sure that's given her the inspiration.
2-on-1, a rare opportunity. But the 1 does the job to keep an easy shot away. Brecken Schilling just couldn't quite look at 1, 2, 3. North Mahaska Warhawks, hands on knees.
Yeah. And four new players in for Newell-Fonda. And, you know, if both sides aren't tired, I'm going to tell you who's going to be tired of these officials. They're having to get up and down the floor.
1:47 to go before half.
We are We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
Stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
Newell-Fonda jumped out to a 20-point lead right before the end of the first half. North Mahaska has dented into this to make it a 12-point advantage for Newell-Fonda. Minute 47 to go. I think that timeout was more about giving the players a rest and not giving the opportunity for Newell-Fonda to maybe score another 2, 3, or 4 buckets with $1:47 left.
Yeah, and you know, looking at the regional tournament for Newell-Fonda, they gave up 22, 39, and 43, averaged about 33, 34 points a game. North Mahaska is almost at that point, so they're doing a good job of staying close, keeping it close, and getting some stops, able to get it into the front court. If they could just slow and settle down a little bit and not be in a hurry when they're on the offensive end, they could get a few more buckets.
Henders makes the steal, and now Sievers is going to be fouled at the free throw line on the far end of the basket. Looking at Newell-Fonda's schedule, a couple things stand out to me. You know, we've covered, this is the 9th year for Iowa PBS. We've had the girls' championships here at basketball. And Laura, you get to know Newell-Fonda real well, and you look at their schedule, what's a little bit different than normal. They've been doing some games with Western Christian, a long-standing tradition here. Bishop Garrigan is the game that stands out. That was an overtime win back on the 9th of December as the bucket inside. Attempt by Kinsey Henders. She fouled in the act of shooting. There was an Esterville Lincoln Central. That's the only loss Newell-Fonda has this year. A 5-point game right before Christmas. ELC is in the tournament, still alive, but then that game was avenged with a 11-point win back in January. Game against South Central Calhoun, another tournament team. Cherokee of Washington has been at this tournament before. So Newell-Fonda scheduling, trying to find some games to get them ready, knowing it's just not a rollover for us every year.
And I think that Coach Jungers does that. He wants to test his team as much as he possibly can and get them against some teams maybe out of the conference, out of that section of the state, and maybe even cross state lines. And I think he did that a year ago or a couple of years ago. They went into Nebraska and played a couple of teams.
And you see that happen more and more. I've talked to a couple of coaches this week, and I just said, so, you made new friends and scheduled any new home and homes? Oh, yeah, we have. We think we're going to play this team. And so that is part of this whole, you have time in the hallways, you might join a mutual respect for one another and say, you know what, that's fun, let's do this again, as one of 2 free throws there by Graywee.
And we've seen some of the smaller classes go ahead and schedule some of the bigger classes. Schedule up a class, maybe 2 classes, just to see how they fare against some of the bigger schools.
Well, last year, Bishop Garrigan came down to West Des Moines Valley for the last regular season game, and that's a 1A, 5A matchup, and Garrigan almost won.
Yeah, I think that is, I think you're going to maybe see a little more of that. Why not? Why not give your players a little barometer to see how things are going, where you're at, how you match up, and I think it's great. I mean, and I think last year that scheduling with Bishop Garrigan and Valley was, both of them had lost games somewhere along the scheduling, and they wanted a game before they got to tournament time, and it worked out for both of them.
Well, last year was kind of that weird year where games were dropped hours before tip. A lot of COVID games, or there's sometimes the weather game as we come into the 10 seconds. 13 seconds left in this half. And so you had to find somebody, hey, you want to play tomorrow? Can you play tonight?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and why not make the best of a kind of a crazy situation and see if you can get a little competition.
Walker looks for Sievers. 3 seconds on the clock. Shots wide. Another attempt, 3 at the buzzer. Short. As that basket won't fall for Mia Walker, and that's how we end the first half with a missed shot. 41-26 Newell-Fonda. In a nice quarter. I was just looking at the score there. Laura, one thing about Newell-Fonda, 7 different players scoring in that first quarter, and it continues. Kiera Junger's the only one in double figures. Mary Walker with 8, Jungers with 11, McKenna Sievers 5, along with Kinsey Hinders. And for North Mahaska leading them, Addie Schilling and Layla Hargis. Schilling with 10, Hargis with 11. So we sit here at halftime, 41-26. We'll analyze these full stats in a moment, but what stands out to you in this game?
The one thing, well, we talked about the turnovers, and I think those have calmed down a little bit for North Mahaska, but what a great second quarter for North Mahaska. They started out a little rough. They had 16 turnovers in that first quarter, but they have kind of righted the ship. They had a really nice second quarter, outscored Newell-Fonda by 3.
18-15 goes that quarter, so if you can put together a couple more outscoring quarters, then you keep playing some defense, you just never know. We do know one thing, we're going to step away from this halftime and get you a little information more about these two teams. We'll break down some more stats, and then we'll also tell you about the Iowa girl and look at the rest of the Class 1A field. We have a busy halftime. Back in a moment from Wells Fargo Arena.
Is proud to present this amazing state tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders, it's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on a successful year, and remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community.
Like family, like home. SWIC is a place for you.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Halftime, 2022 Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament, Class 1A quarterfinal. Our last quarterfinal games here today. Newell-Fonda, Laura, we're not trying to take anything for granted or advantage. There's just becomes, I think coaches have expectations of the way programs are run. And Newell-Fonda, you said it from the very beginning when we started today about these younger levels. And if you are somebody watching this trying to figure out how to turn your program around and mimic Newell-Fonda, it starts with youth, and it also helps to have about 4 or 5 families that you can have 3 or 4 different girls from that family. That helps too.
Yeah, that always helps. But I think this is a mindset that has started at the lower levels, and it has caught fire. And it's the tradition and the chance to be able to come down to the state tournament every year. I mean, it has been almost every year over the last, we know, at least 10 years, if not longer. And so when you have a program like that that has that momentum and that tradition, and you're right, the younger players coming up and the younger sisters coming up, But I look across right now at the bench. Coach Jungers is out already. He's not in that locker room talking to his players. So the players know the system. They know what they need to do to win ball games. So I'm sure he went in and said a few things to them. The rest of the players are probably taking over and saying, okay, here's what we need to do to continue to our assault on that championship game again this year.
1A is a stacked field this year for a couple of different reasons. One, the obvious storyline is the Newell-Fonda Algona Bishop Garrigan. Well, we see that for the third straight year in the title game. They are on opposite sides of the bracket, but here's the thing. There's this team called Springville and North Lynn. North Lynn has won a championship in 2A. They're now down in 1A. They have to play a conference game tonight. In Springville, that's been the other thorn in the side of Newell-Fonda for a number of years. Different coaches, but similar philosophies of next girl in has worked for Springville.
Yeah, and that we may see something different. I don't know right now. I mean, you look on paper and you say Bishop Garrigan and Newell-Fonda, they're ticketed right for that championship game, but I think there's other teams that are sitting back and they're going, you wait just a minute, because we're here and we're ready to take on these powerhouses, and we want to be in that championship game.
Well, MMCRU and IGHSAU both with just one loss. That's the common theme. Either Bishop Garrigan's the only one with 3 losses. North Lynn has 2. So Bishop Garrigan against Burlington Notre Dame. Burlington Notre Dame has been in this championship game. So everybody in this field, with the exception of North Mahaska and MMCRU, has been in a title game in the last 10 years.
And it's, I think it's just one of those things where you can't get too overconfident, because this is a tough field, this 1A class, and there's some really good basketball being played. And I don't care if you're the number 1 seed or the number 8 seed, you have to be ready to go every single game here at the state tournament. And I think these teams have a good game plan. They know what they need to do, and they know who they need to get through. They know who has a target on their back. So I think sometimes that little bit of motivation, and it's March. We know crazy things happen in March. Sometimes that little added motivation and March Madness all kick in, and you're able to upset a team.
Oh, it is fun. Second day of March already. All right, all these are Iowa girls that have been playing, and it takes a lot to make a partnership work between the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and their title sponsor. Let's go to former Iowa girl herself and Lisa Brinkmeyer.
I'm Lisa Brinkmeyer, here along with Brent Johnson, president of Iowa Farm Bureau. First off, we'd like to thank you for your title sponsorship of the Girls Athletic Union, as well as the 2022 Girls State Basketball Tournament. Brent, why is it important for Iowa Farm Bureau to invest in Iowa's youth?
Yeah, well, our youth is tomorrow's leaders. And, Iowa Farm Bureau, we put a lot of emphasis in that. And, every year we give $250,000 to kids in scholarships throughout the entire state. Over the last several years, we've provided almost $500,000 in teacher education and products for their classrooms. One of the things that we're really proud of is being able to take care of our students on the athletic fields as well. Iowa is one of only 7 states that even offers concussion insurance. And again, this year, Iowa Farm Bureau, we're proud to announce that at no cost to the student or their families, Iowa Farm Bureau is providing that concussion insurance for those student athletes so that they remain safe and can compete at a high level.
Fantastic.
Newell-Fonda has scored 26 points in the paint, 22 points off turnovers, 14 fast break, and 12 bench points. That's a total. You have to count them a couple times, but 41-26. Newell-Fonda leads North Mahaska. Further dive into the stats when we come back.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday,
and we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
sometimes people who seem to know everything
Dental insurance costs a fortune, and it covers nothing.
don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
Des Moines, the yeses are silent. The fun is always loud. And now it's easy to plan your Des Moines adventure. Introducing the Catch List. A list of all things you can't miss. All the thrills, all the chills, hops and drops. Des Moines is a city of love that'll put a smile on your face. It's easy to picture yourself here. Find your adventure at catchdesmoines.com/catchlist today.
Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside Casey's. Outside Casey's. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Order for curbside pickup this winter, and we'll bring your delicious Casey's Pizza order outside so you can stay inside. Now at Casey's, buy one large pizza, get one half off. Casey's, here for staying inside. Here for good.
Yes, you have a team shirt, but do you have an official Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union official shirt from this girls' state tournament? Well, head to IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. And if you are so inclined and you're coming to the arena, there's on-site where you can go and give it the old hold-up check. All right, North Mahaska, Laura. Down a little bit, down 15. What do they have to do to climb back into this one?
Well, number one, take care of the basketball. And they did that in the second quarter. They only had 4 turnovers in the second quarter. So that's one thing they need to continue to do. Then just be a little bit patient. Go ahead and work the ball on offense. See if they can get the inside shots to open up.
Driving in to attack right away is Brecken Schilling. And she's fouled already in the act of shooting. And so she'll be at the line. Lainey Hografe is whistled for the foul. So if you can cut into the lead with the clock stopped, that helps too.
Well, and they did get the ball to start the third quarter, and so that allowed them to set up their offense. They didn't have that pressure coming at them, and they ran a nice set play.
The freshman hits a pair. Brecken now with 6. Her team has 28, 41-28. 7:45, 15 seconds gone by here in the third quarter. Newell-Fonda number 1 and rolling, but North Mahaska hanging tight. Or as the kids used to say in the 80s, hanging tough. The kids, the new kids. That's my generation, Laura, sorry.
I'm trying to see if I'm in that generation. I think I am, for goodness sakes.
Joey, Danny, Donnie. I can't remember them all now. 3 on the corner on the way from Walker. Mary Walker dials it up. She now has 11. Her last 6 points have come via the 3.
Yeah, she's just very confident, very solid out there beyond the arc.
All right, Fogel with it. Pulls up her dribble from 12 feet and then travels. All right, Laura, I was going to ask you, with Newell-Fonda, we talk about shooting the ball. They don't really shoot the ball from... If you would look at their shot chart, there would be a ton from 8 feet and in. Not a lot from 3 and outside.
No, not really, but it seems like every year they always have that one player or the one player coming off the bench that has that range, and it's very consistent from 3-point.
And that one was from the free throw line by Jungers, and it's off the mark. But again, Bartek harasses, and finishing for is Hografe for Newell-Fonda. Back to 12, and it's a steal. Jungers on the receiving end. Gets it to Sievers. Macy Sievers across midcourt. And that's a steal. Fogel quickly has company, knocked away, and this is going to be an over and back. And we have a downed Warhawk back at the 3-point line. Slow to get up. I think that's Fogel.
Yeah, I think that's who it is.
Brianna Fogel.
Might have knocked her noggin on the floor as she was trying to punch that ball back out to a teammate.
And you've noticed in this game that Bree is, just very good on defense. Called the motor. She never gives up. Very athletic, versatile. And when you send the motor to the bench, probably doesn't need too long to tune up, and she should be back in.
No, I think that just the hustle down the floor and then trying to scrap after that loose ball just made contact with the floor a little too hard.
Isabel Bartek's three is off the mark, but she goes and creates on defense and gets the steal. Inside, Jungers catch, shoot, score.
And you're right about their shot chart. Everything down in the low block, middle of the paint, free throw line, not much further. And then you're going to, if you look at that chart, several dots, just a few out among the three-point line.
Do they shoot many mid-range Jays?
It's a passion of mine. We saw one. And I'm sure Coach Jungers is a coach that would welcome a mid-range jumper every now and again.
I think we had a tie up there. It'll go back to Newell-Fonda. Yeah, and that's, the whole reason we had that discussion yesterday was about the emergence of the three and just how many teams shoot the three. This is very old school. This is like if you would put 6-on-6 into a 5-player game.
Yeah.
Lots of layups and cuts and harassment and great defenses. That shot by Jungers won't go, and Macy Sievers grabs the loose hand. Denied in there to Henders. And it was on the line. It'll off Henders' hand. It'll go back to North Mahaska.
Poor McKenna Sievers was over in the corner, and she was waving her hand. She was wide open for the three, and nobody could see her. She's a little bit smaller than the rest of the players on the floor, but she was trying her darndest to get everybody's attention to get her the basketball.
Way up front. North Mahaska nearly stolen away. Macy Sievers tied up here. Loose ball. Finally coming away with it is North Mahaska. Going up and getting a chance for 2 free throws will be Reagan Gruey.
Well, they stayed after it. They almost lost possession of that, but they scrapped. They were able to get the numbers and take it right to the rim. And again, stepping to the free throw line, an opportunity to put some points on the board.
There's a look at Coach Jungers, K-8 principal at Newell-Fonda. Used to coach softball. Now he just watches his daughter pitch.
All-tournament team captain a year ago.
And Newell-Fonda in that title game, a couple years in a row now. And Courtney Darrow, the head coach of the softball team, is one of the assistants here on the basketball team.
I think Jungers had a 3-hitter in that championship game.
We'll have a foul underneath. Dick used to coach softball, now just goes to be the parent, and he kind of said, I had to give one up. There was just too much going on, and it is a big commitment at the smaller schools. Sometimes you do coach multiple sports, but you might not be head coach in multiple sports, and that's just hard to do. Nice look. Sievers finds Henders for the easy 2. And then almost a steal by Macy Sievers. North Mahaska will have to inbound it and face the pressure again. Coming back in, Mary Walker, part of the IMT insurance substitution. Be worry-free with IMTINS.com. Learn more there. Mia Walker, part of that front end of the press. Getting a hand on it was McKenna Sievers. North Mahaska gets it back. Trying to find Hargis. Addie Schilling maybe should have just taken that shot.
Yeah, she had the front of the rim staring her right in the face and should have just pulled up and shot it. We've seen her do it in this ball game. She's got really great body control when she goes up for the shot and could have knocked that one down. But being an unselfish player, thinking that maybe a little bit higher percentage shot, trying to drop it off to Hargis.
McKenna Sievers pulls up her dribble. Walker, wide open backdoor cut and scoring. It's Kinsey Henders.
Now Henders has the height to be able to jump up and down and have people see her because she was behind everybody. Nobody knew that she had snuck in down low.
And the block there. Okay, Laura, you've seen enough games at the tournament this year. It looks like a lot of the officiating, they are letting a lot of contact happen. Maybe not so right there. That was a legit foul, no. But more, sometimes some years we've seen a lot of fouls called on presses and on pressure, on hand reaches and things. Are we just getting better at playing defense?
I think that's part of it, and I just think that it's a faster game now, and you know, we watch a lot of college basketball, and the college game has gotten more physical as well. And I just think that's the way, I don't want to say it's a trend, but I think that that's the way the game is being called now. Is you got a lot of athletic players out on the floor, and it is getting more physical. And you just have to take care of the basketball, and it just depends on who the official is, too. I mean, I felt like there was a game the other night where the officials were calling it a little too close. And so, I mean, I think it's a variety of things.
And watching all the contact of the last 6 seconds, I mean, is letting them play. And then Newell-Fonda able to convert that into points there. And before the shot, an offensive foul going to be called on North Mahaska, I think. Did they get Hargis for that? I think so. No.
I thought it was. Was it Hargis? Or no, excuse me. You know who it was? It was Hograve.
Okay.
I think. I said that like I knew what I was talking about, but I think that's who it was.
Fogel got the bucket before. And now it's 52-32. And the Warhawks are trapped. Going to have to get past that 10 count, and they don't. No, they do. Oh, they don't. The ball went on the line. I wasn't sure what that whistle was going to be, and a new player for Newell-Fonda has come into the game, and that is Anna Belcock, the senior. Belcock with it. Says, I'm going to shoot the three, and almost hit it. Tipped around, another chance for the Mustangs. Jungers, who did the work early, couldn't quite finish there, getting the assist. As Audrey Koski also into the game.
You know, I'm just watching and thinking in my head, how do you beat this pressure? How do you beat it? And what we've seen so far is they're dribbling to try to beat it. And I don't know if you could set your people into the middle, get the ball to the middle, get your cutters down the lane, if by passing might neutralize this defense. And I'm sure teams have tried to do that, but I almost feel like North Mahaska is an athletic team that they maybe could do it by just making sure they're passing, stepping to the ball, turning and facing, getting some cutters, and getting it into the front court.
Well, that is a strategy, but there's so much better ball handling that a lot of these players think I can dribble through this because I've worked on it, but sometimes it is the art of the pass that makes a difference.
Yeah, and the ball handling is fine, but boy, I'll tell you, you try to dribble between two defenders, and that's four hands slapping at the ball, and you've got one ball hand dribbling, and you're trying to fend off one of the defenders with the other. That's not an advantage in your favor.
Easier said than done from where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Newell-Fonda in front, 52-34. Macy Seavers' drive at the basket is off the mark, and the ball goes off of her. It'll go back to North Mahaska. Hargis has to run back down and says, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm the inbounder. And then, you know, just lose your focus for just a moment, and that's a little frustration there with Schilling. Kind of looks up at the scoreboard. And let's go back to softball. Like a bad pitch or a bad hit, you just have to flush it. Same in basketball.
Right. If you're the pitcher that gives up that home run ball, forget about it. And just go back to pitching to the next hitter that steps into the box.
Corner shot from Jungers, 15-footer. Extended mid-range, Jay.
That's a mid-range jumper right there. That's a mid-range jumper.
Jungers now
and
with 15.
It's the coach's daughter.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my goodness. Macy Seavers picks the pocket lays it in. And there's some passing, couple of dribbles up to the center, just like you were talking about.
And just continue to do that until, see, you turn, you got to, they just are turning and wanting to go. And that is because the defense is speeding them up. You receive that ball, turn and survey the floor. Go ahead and let them come trap you because that means somebody's open. They've got some height on their team that they can throw over the top.
3-point on the way from Gruey, no good. Tipped around, Warhawks get it back, and Gruey. 15 seconds to go. Schilling drives, cuts through, no call. Will go off of white, or off of black. 9 seconds to go left in the quarter.
That was just a tough drive. That angle was there initially, and it closes down so quickly.
Macy Seaver scores the last 6 points for Newell-Fonda to extend this lead, 60-34. The final quarter in a moment.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
Stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
It's Fairway Family Food.
We asked 100 grocery shoppers who has the best online shopping.
Fairway Meat and Grocery.
Yes. Name a reason you do your online shopping at Fairway.
Expert shoppers pick out my groceries.
Survey says
Fairway experts hand pick your groceries.
With lower prices and higher quality, everyone's a winner at Fairway.
Pick up a great deal when you shop at fairway.com today.
Central College has a new tuition price of just $18,600. That means the college experience that opens doors for a lifetime is now more affordable than ever, and scholarships are still available. Apply today at central.edu. Newell-Fonda, they forced 31 turnovers today.
11 of them in the third quarter.
And they opened up a 60-34 point lead. That was an all Mustang third quarter. They win that quarter 19-8.
That's 2 quarters for North Mahaska with only 8 points. The second quarter, they had 18. And that's where they were able to get some steals and convert on some layups of their own.
Inside, Hargis, ball on the ground. Hitting the deck are 3 players, and coming away with it is a held ball, jump ball, alternating possession. Will go back towards the Newell-Fonda end of the floor.
And with a chance to inbound, they wanted to run the sets. They got a good look. And just that one extra pass. Again, this team is so unselfish. They want to make sure that they're getting the player open that has the best look. But just that one extra pass for that caused the turnover, but they get one here of their own.
Hargis is harassed all the way up the floor and finally gets a call to go her way. And I think she just did a thank you type motion as she turned her body away from me, so maybe I misread that call. Nice kick, Hargis. Had it for 15. Turns around, and again, swatted away by Mary Walker.
And you could see Walker just sneaking back when that ball went into the post. And as soon as the ball went to the floor, she was reaching in.
Well, Ellie Moore over there, good game planner. It's hard to, you can game plan, but sometimes if the horses just aren't right to run in the race, it's a hard road to go. Or row to hoe, depending how you want to say it.
Right. And it is tough. I mean, you're not the only team that has not been able to solve the mystery of this Newell-Fonda team. It's not really any mystery. Everybody knows what they're going to do.
Sievers picks the pocket, and before the shot is fouled. It's like the hands are there for for Newell-Fonda. Every time North Mahaska tries to do a crossover dribble, it's like they just anticipate. They know when I'm going from left to right now, and that hand is there. I don't know how many times we've seen that today.
Yeah, and that is just, I think, something they work on, obviously, knowing that if somebody makes that crossover move or that spin move with the dribble, make sure you're right there, anticipate it very well, and they do. And, you know, these players at the second team and the third team are going against the starters in practice, so they're able to go against what they're doing to other teams. And so, you know, they go up against some good competition every single day in practice.
And part of the way that this program has worked for all the years is that the second and third teamers getting the quality minutes at the state tournament and in so many games, so that, yes, when it does come to practice, they are ready to go. They are not your average scout team.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, they know the drill. They know what they're supposed to do. They know how to execute. And now we're looking at the bench. Here come 5 new players in. Another
substitution brought to you by IMT Insurance. Be worry-free with IMT. That's IMTINS.com. Three, no good. Jungers had it go off of her hand. And Isabel Bartek in. We're seeing a couple of reserves with some starters back in. Here's one from Ala Belcock, another 3. This one didn't fall, but the Mustangs fall back on defense, and North Mahaska comes across midcourt with Schilling. Fogel is headed out of bounds, and then they'll have to inbound it with 5:30 to play.
Belcock right there on her, and as she was falling out of bounds, Fogel able to knock it off of Belcock and keep the possession.
Coming out to harass is Bartek. Nice runner in the lane, left-hander goes. Addie Schilling.
That's where Addie Schilling got a lot of her points in the second quarter, knocking down that floater.
Sievers waits for a cut from Walker. Or that's Bartek, sorry.
Sievers was directing traffic. She's like, go back door, it's there. And Bartek just couldn't handle the pass.
You know, talking with some players, very similar. You see that backdoor cut. Oh, and another steal again by Sievers. And one. Macy Sievers now with 14 points. I don't know how many steals that is. I don't think we keep steals on this in-game. We'll get them at the end of the game. Oh, you know what? There is a way to see that.
Looks like she has 6.
Yeah. 3 launch, no good by Bartek. And it's North Mahaska's Schilling. Addie Schilling pulls up from the free throw line. Shot goes long, lots of arms. Going up, Hargis. Turnaround shot, good.
Boy, I'm not sure how she got that shot off. She had some long arms stretched out in front of her, double team, but got it to go.
Offensive foul called on Hografe.
That's the second time that she's been called for that illegal screen, helping a teammate out, kind of clearing a pass so they could make the drive.
Audrey Koski comes in. Loose ball again. Mustangs out ahead. You guessed it, Macy Sievers. In what seems like the 52nd layup of the game, she only has 16 points, but that's how it feels if you're cheering for North Mahaska.
Right.
Again, number 20.
Right.
Timeout, North Mahaska. 3:52 to play in this quarterfinal game between Newell-Fonda and North Mahaska.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
Stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
Relentlessly.
At your service.
.352 to play here at Wells Fargo Arena in the Class 1A. We've had a lot of games in the last 3 days. This is game number 17 of the tournament. 18, 19, 20 yet to come tonight. MMCRU and IGHSAU EHK. MMCRU back at the tournament. Same with Tom Peterson and IGHSAU EHK. That bottom half of that 1A bracket, holy cow. Garrigan, Notre Dame, Springville, North Lynn.
Yeah, those are going to be some good games. This 1A class has always been competitive and very tough down here at the state tournament. And one of the more fun ones to watch. I mean, there always seem to be very close games in this 1A class.
Oh, nice cut and score. Koski. Looks like I'm going to have to find out who's the owner of the blue dye from this team, as I see a couple of blue streaks here and there. Ripped away by... As ripping it away was Anna Belcock there.
Yeah, every team has maybe a little something that they like to do when they come to the state tournament. We've seen some teams that have dyed their hair, put streaks in their hair, done some things with their tennis shoes. Maybe a little of those tattoos that you can remove and put those on or whatever. And everybody's kind of got their own little thing that they like to have, and maybe it's a tradition that they have when they come to the state tournament. And so it's just kind of fun to see all the highlights and the colors.
Well, here's the new thing. This isn't all, this is a fairly new. Last year, 2 years ago, Snapchat was the thing. Now it's all about TikTok and who's the best dancer. They all love to dance, and you find out who's the best TikToker. And all of these teams, you know, some are way more into it than others. And I'm sure if you search, you'll find a lot of these teams and their dances as the three-point basket by Koski is off the mark, and the ball comes back to her somehow. Wide open. And hitting the three for Newell-Fonda was Emma Erickson.
Now, just a good job of able to track that down, and Koski was in a little bit of trouble, but kept the eyes up, kept surveying the floor, and was able to find the open player.
Little harassment out front. Now it's Schilling. Bracken Schilling off the glass, no good. Fighting with Hargis, they give it to Schilling, and then out front come the Mustangs. Missing the layup there was Bartek.
But trailing the play was Koski, and they're still getting up and down the floor, but this is fresh legs that are in the ball game for Newell-Fonda.
We're going to see even more fresh legs come in here in a moment. 2 minutes to play. 73-42. Inside pass, turnaround, score. There we go. Reagan Gruey.
Nice power move by Gruey going up against two defenders, gets it off the glass.
Bartek, Lyman, and Koski all go off. The free throw, no good. And Anna Mercer was down in there and helped tie it up, as did Lindsay Wolf. So Wolf, Vanderhoff, Mercer, and Meyer, all freshmen on this varsity team. As Belcock gets a little commentary back and forth with the official there. Bringing it up the court will be Greta Larson, a sophomore. She kind of pulls it up a little early, waits for Belcock to get back open down low, and does. And coming back, I thought we were going to maybe have a basketball in our lap with Larson. She chases it down. 90 seconds to go. As Emma Erickson will inbound it right in front of the team bench. Coming in for North Mahaska was Samantha Van Wielding. And we're going to have to pick a Casey's player of the game, Laura. And I don't think we can pick just the whole team. So we're going to have to look at a couple of stats and a couple of thoughts in mind. I mean, you've got Macy Sievers, who just seemed like she was stealing the basketball all the time. Mary Walker has 11. Kiera Jungers 15. Stolen away by the Mustangs. Again, laying it up and getting into the scorebook at State is Lindsay Wolf. Three-point, or a runner off the mark, and up again the Mustangs go to work. Greta Larson launches the three. Misses, and it goes off of white. It'll go back to black. That's the jersey North Mahaska's wearing.
Well, you can look at the scoring for Newell-Fonda. They're right at their average of where they are, at least for the tournament run through the regionals, and just a little above of what they were giving up as far defensively to their opponents in the regional tournament play, getting them to the state tournament. So I thought maybe at halftime when North Mahaska had 26 points, I thought, all right, they're going to make a little bit of a run at them and maybe give them a pretty good game here in the second half. But, boy, they were just relentless on defense, Newell-Fonda.
And stealing it again and scoring. Greta Larson. No quit from these reserves.
No, they're getting their chance to play at the state tournament, and they're not going to give up. They're going to continue to play the style of ball that they have been taught.
There's no nights off in Belcock almost to steal. 2 seconds. 1. And that's the horn. Newell-Fonda rolls 77-44.
It's quite a performance by Newell-Fonda, and North Mahaska had a really great second quarter. Then they just struggled in the third and the fourth. But, you know, when you have 3 and 4 different lines of players coming at you and defending the same way, there's no let up. And they did everything they could possibly do to try to break the pressure, just could not crack that defense of Newell-Fonda.
We'll have the two teams shake hands, and then we'll have a trophy presentation and a ceremonial affixing of the Newell-Fonda name into the next bracket, and then we'll do our Casey's Player of the Game.
Participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach L.E. Moore and the Warhawks from North Mahaska on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Anna Belcock will advance her team to the next round on the official bracket at center court. Newell-Fonda fans, your team advances to the semifinals and will play the winner of IGHSAU EHK versus MMCRU on Friday at 1:30. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and your attendance. As a reminder,
Our Casey's player of the game is Macy Sievers. The senior finished with 16 points, 4 rebounds. But when you look at statistics, dig a little deeper, and it's in the steals. Macy Sievers with 6 of them in 21 minutes of play. What stood out to you for Macy?
Well, definitely the 6 steals, the 3 assists that she had. But, boy, her shooting percentage, 8 of 12, very efficient from the floor. Yes, a lot of those were breakaway layups off of the steals, but just that defense turning into offense, she really is the catalyst of this team.
Casey's is proud to sponsor the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, and today's player of the game, Casey's, is at the heart of many Iowa communities, cheering on our local teams and fans and making sure that there's fresh pizza ready, win or lose. Sign up for new Casey's Rewards, the rewards program that gives back by letting you redeem points for Casey's cash, fuel discounts, or donations to local schools. All right, Laura, we got 1 in the books in 1A, and we've talked about how good the rest of the class is. Enjoy the day.
You too. It's going to be a fun one here on out, and then we get the semis.
All righty. Laura Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager, and the rest of the crew here, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, which is presented by Mid-American Energy. We say thank you for watching. Newell-Fonda advances in their quarterfinal game. We have 3 more to play. Stay with us. So long from Des Moines.
Sometimes people who seem to know everything.
Dental insurance costs a fortune and it covers nothing.
Don't. For instance, personal plans from Delta Dental cut the cost of many procedures in half. So be careful what you hear.
How important are teeth anyway?
Get the facts. Contact Delta Dental about saving with personal dental plans today.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
I hear you're looking for a great college where you can get an affordable education. SWIC is the place for you.
I appreciate the personalized attention.
And I've gotten to meet people from all around the world.
The SWIC student housing is incredible.
I like SWIC's hands-on training.
And I'll start my career in 2 years.
I can schedule my classes online or face-to-face.
SWIC feels like a community,
like family, like home. SWIC is a place for you.